And so what's so astounding is that the way you're built inside, the way that you are set up to pull in energy is something that just really hasn't been part of any culture, definitely, for thousands of years. Welcome, 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 welcome. This is the Energy for Success immersion course in which no one ever can even believe that from the time it starts to the time they go the second hour and then the third hour and then the exercises and what you do when you take it home, the power that you can create for your goals. It's just astounding. And so what's so astounding is that the way you're built inside, the way that you are set up to pull in energy is something that just really hasn't been part of any culture, definitely, for thousands of years. But this discipline comes back from the days of Lao Tzu, who didn't write anything down because he was a quantum physicist. And so he had some things that came down, like the yin-yang symbol and the Tao Te Ching that students wrote down. And then he gave a little more information, and then it was just too far beyond. And then in some of the other lectures that we're going to be giving you in the future, we're going to go into quantum and how that all relates to every single thing that you've been doing in the energy. Would that be interesting? Oh, yeah. So what's so good about that is that people who are quantum physicists, if you interview them, they'll say, well, if you understand this and this, that's all that anyone can understand. And the rest of it has a lot to do with you. And isn't that great? It has to do with you. It's just people don't really go that way because we've always felt it's something outside of us, right? We've always felt like it's something different, If I change something like the way I think or the way that my attitude is or the way that I'm believing, all those things are fun to do. They'll give different results or different filters. But what if all you need is what's inside of you now? What if all you need is parts of you are just waiting, just like when you're a little kid, to wake up in the morning and rock it and have a good time all day and eat and sleep and just laugh? Wouldn't that be good? I mean, really? Do you want to go through years of self-analysis to get there? Or would you like to get here just in this course, okay? So this course is about that, you being returned to that true human being that you know is inside, the one that not only is youthful and loving and caring, but freer, so that you're freer to do more things, you can be more creative. So today we're going to go into that, but before we go into some of the exercises I want you to know about and the guided visualization, there's people who have been doing the material and the exercise from the last time we were together, and they have been sending me all kinds of sharing about victories they've been having using the energy. And also I've listened to some of the group calls which we have every day, which I think is great. People all around the world calling in. When I talk to people, I just got back from Silicon Valley, I talk to CEOs there, they go, you have a group call, when is it? And I go, every day. And they go, can I write that down again? When? I said, every day. I go, even New Year's Day, Christmas Day, every day. They go, how do you do that? I go, I don't do it. People get the value out of it, therefore people show up. And they said, oh, I understand. Because there's been a huge study that finally came out of that area of what really gets people to learn easier. And the fact that if you generate it and you're the one who enjoys it, and then you keep adding to it to make it work, it's yours. And so everybody who contributes on those calls, it's yours. Just like today is yours. And this body is yours, and you get to have it grow and develop any way you want. So the first thing I'd like to have is some sharing from anybody who had a victory using the energy. Now, if you're right now listening to me and watching this, you should have your hand raised. Now, you should have your hand raised every day. Everybody knows about the dent in my roof of my car, because every time I have a dent where I say I must have a victory to talk about before I even pull out of the garage, right? Why not? You want to go on the freeway worrying about something? No, you should be in victory lane, which is in the energy. So who has a victory, something they want to share that's here today, want to share? Please, please, please. So if you're really excited, I would like that. That would help. If you're really vibrant, that would help. If you're really gonna just come through your hand, that would help. If your hand's getting tired now, that doesn't help. Okay, so I see some people that can share. This is pretty cool. All right, so someone who's been traveling, anybody, you've been traveling? Yeah, okay, so travel sometimes the hard, come on, you'll do a quick one with you and then maybe you. Yeah, next. But let's, if we're going to do traveling, when you're traveling, some people travel and it's not what you expected. Some people, it is what you expected. Some people have fun when they travel. Some people have drama. Has anyone ever noticed when you travel that you sort of go on vacation from your normal life? So as soon as you leave, you go, I'm on vacation. So everything's going to be different now. But when you get to wherever the hotel is, wherever you're going, it's pretty much like the movie, Vacation. Same thing. It's you run into the matrix, all those things, the culture in which we've come, that's sort of not set up necessarily to support you. So it doesn't mean you want to really have a good time on your vacation. You have to use the energy and make goals as you go through it and watch those expand better than you could have expected. So what happened with you?
I had a fabulous trip, but I also got a lot of energy. So let's talk about little stuff.
Well, where'd you go?
Well, I went to Ireland and to France, part work and part my college roommate's son's wedding. So very fun. But I travel a lot, so I'm pretty good at planning, but I turned out flying in, I flew into Paris and had to go to Dublin and switch. And I'd allowed 2 hours. Okay?
You allowed 2 hours for what?
Between Paris and Dublin.
Okay, and why is that important?
Well, one would think that would be enough time to get through customs. French customs isn't very easy. I allowed some extra time, but it became immediately obvious that this may not be enough time.
I thought you were on vacation. Everything was supposed to work the way you wanted to. You just, I'm here, take care of me, right?
So I wrote a goal.
You have to take care of what?
Everything.
Right.
Okay. So I wrote a goal before I landed in Paris because it was clear to me it was going to be tight. And I said the goal was have me make my flight. And as I'm landing, I find out my second flight's been delayed 45 minutes. Okay? Talk about a win. I mean, a total win, serendipity, writing the goals. It worked. And this is, it's a little thing.
Were you doing energy exercises in the Orly airport like me? What were you doing to get yourself in the gear?
I'm talking on the plane before I land. I had Wi-Fi, so I was looking at this. I was doing energy exercises before I landed.
Yeah. People out there's so many different energy exercises you can do in your seat or standing up. And it's a lot better than getting jet lag and being turned into a sardine from your seat in the plane. So if you can stand up and actually do these exercises, you'll find that when you land, actually in one airplane, I was doing it so much, they actually made a film. They had their people do it, but it made a film on how to do it. So what else?
So I did that. I got off in Charles de Gaulle customs line. Thought I'd do a few exercises, maybe it would help, and it did. Went there, had half business trip, half pleasure trip. Business was phenomenal. Looks like I'll be going to Hong Kong for somebody to have a global presence. How good is that? Unbelievably
Wait, you're
fun.
on vacation and you get to have business?
I did both.
That's wonderful.
There's nothing wrong with both. You can do both.
Nothing wrong with getting everything paid for, yeah.
Well, there's a serendipity on command, isn't there? Went into Paris, went to Nantes, and had a lot of plane flights. Some that wouldn't think would be so easy. All of them went just as they should go. I didn't say on time. I said just as they should go. And that was really important. Came back, was totally through my process.
What does should go mean?
It means if I'm running late on something, maybe it was 15 minutes delayed, so I didn't miss my flight. That would be good.
Oh, you're saying just as you intended with your goals, that it worked out in the grade 8. She's referring to the grade 8 in which, the energy is all about you having a total great life. This all worked out, like I said, from Lao Tzu a long time ago, which is how you're built to not only have a great time physically every day in your life and become more athletic and take vacations and go places, but also that you become smarter and better financially. Looks like you are doing all the grade 8 on one trip. So what else happened? Well,
I decided there was a call that I needed to be on, an energy call that was going to occur where I was at 2 a.m. Okay. And I knew I'd have to get up early anyway, but obviously I'm talking about getting up at 1:45 if I'm going to be on a 2 o'clock call. And I wrote a goal, but I decided not to set an alarm because it was going to really disrupt my day. And I said my goal was to wake up naturally, be able to be on the call, and get all the energy boost for a very long day.
Okay. So nobody here can believe you're even doing this, okay? Because nobody here would ever be able to get up How many people actually want to get up at 1:45 in the morning and actually go do something and make it happen? It's not your top choice, is it? It's something you do as last resort if you have to. But she's sharing it like it's something that could be fun.
It was a goal.
Yeah, but that's saying, what if you made it a goal using the energy and say, okay, universe, if the energy is really like rocking me and it's like creates all this suntan when I'm out in the sun, I can pull in energy to have me get up on time and actually be there on time for a call and not be exhausted. Why not try that in everything? So you tried it. What happened?
Well, I got on the call. Great energy boost, great sharing. Everyone that was on the call, it made a huge difference to my entire day. Just an example of it worked. I mean, some of the things that happen in what you've talked about, Dr. B, transformed. I had it on for the vacation. I'm kind of an early go to bed person. Okay. I get up early, but I'm an early go to bed person. And I knew I had an occasion during this wedding. I was going to have to be up till midnight or more. And I started that long. This is not a good thing. And then I thought, wait a second. Let's transform all the events to be in the energy. And I thought, I'm going to, after this, go back to the United States. I need to start adapting and staying up later. This is fabulous. So my goal in the energy, don't give me that look, the goal in the energy was to have a fabulous time. Don't worry about the fact that it's out of my comfort zone to leave this event at midnight and not get back till 1. Be energized and fuel my other goals. Being productive when I got back, making sure. And it worked out fabulously. It transformed.
Okay, so some people go when they wake up in the morning, I just hope I can make it to whatever. And then they trundle through their morning, and then they finally, sometime during the day, wake up and determine what they're going to do that day or try to do what they're supposed to do and get through the day and find out what time they'll get to go do something fun. This person here has fun with so many different things. So write that down. Why don't I have a goal of making fun out of everything I have to do? Only somebody confused you a long time ago saying that isn't right. I have to get up in the morning and be either exhausted or stern or confused or tired or negative or irritated or afraid. All those things are not necessary. They definitely can roll in if you want the matrix to come in. Because as you all know, the matrix is all about the other part of life. Lao Tzu discovered that there's really only 2 choices at every moment. You can either be growing in the energy, the way the universe is. Has anyone ever looked out in a telescope, seen how the universe is always going larger and larger and larger? And that's life, more and more expansion. That's the fun path. You get rewarded on that. The other pathway, it keeps contracting until finally you're in a black hole and you're gone. That one has pain in it. So anybody have any pain ever in your day, in your life? Why don't we change that and try this technique, which is I want to have fun with each one of my goals for tomorrow. And you can just pick a bunch of goals. You can pick the waking up. You could pick eating the right amount of food. You can pick not being hungry when I'm not eating. There's all kinds of things you can pick in terms of each part of your new vacation. Now, this is a vacation. You're vacationing away from the matrix.
I think that I like to create not as a vacation, but rather that's just the way I like to live every day.
That's right. Good.
Not a vacation. It's because that implies it ends. Oh, no.
Okay. It may imply it doesn't have to. It could be a learning experience. But I love it that she's discovered that. And so take that and use it. Now, if you don't use it, what's going to happen? Then you're sort of whatever happens that morning that came in through thousands of years of cultural whatever rolls through your brain or your feelings. That's really not fair to you, is it? It's like sleeping in a hotel where they allow people to smoke at nighttime. You wake up and you smell all the cigarette smoke. And you go, that isn't what I was expecting in the morning. You have a lot of things you don't expect in the morning. But with this approach, using the energy, you can really nail it. So is everybody willing to do that? Are you doing it out there? Are you writing it back there? Good. Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
Victory. Okay, one more. So is that too presumptuous that you could do that? Write it down now. pick a goal, something simple. Sometimes when I have to do things, I do them really quick because I'm in a rush right before surgery. So I'll go, I want lunch to be, over here from a certain restaurant or something. And I want people to be on time for something like that. And I put all these things down that will fit in my grade 8 goals of either, serendipity, having financial success, having, health and strength, being, in flow. So,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Good. What do you got to share about victory using the energy?
All right. Hi, I'm Billy Noble. My victory using the energy is that I wrote a goal in this book, which was a Christmas gift from somebody in the back, that I would get a job at a particular firm that I really wanted to work at. And lo and behold, I got that job 2 weeks ago.
I did it.
Okay, to get an idea of the magnitude of my need for this new job, just like to briefly mention that at my old job, in 19 months I was there, I did the math in my seat just now. I took 15,000 phone calls. That's 2,000 calls a quarter for 5.5 quarters. Most of those people were not calling to say hello. All right. So that brings me back to my book.
Which part of the choice, because you get 2 choices, was he dwelling in? The part of expanding and every day's new and exciting and lovely and I can't feel stronger and better and I just can't imagine what it's like to just keep growing with the universe. It's so wonderful. Or I'm contracting and things are getting tougher and more painful and more like, what's the heck's going on here? That doesn't mean that you can't get out of this side and jump to this side at any instant, which obviously you did.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So how'd you do it? What'd you do? You did your breathing exercises? You did your physical exercises?
I did. I did the exercises from the last lecture. It's like I did not let my feet hit the floor until those practices were done. That's usually a good idea to do what the doc tells you. So I decided to try that.
Don't trust those, whatever went on in the night around you, why don't just take over right first thing in the morning? Go ahead.
And, I also had faith that this process and all my friends out there would come through in the end. So,
yeah, it's fun when other people are expanding with you. It's, E equals MC squared, which is the energy, but also E for environment means a lot. So if your environment is surrounded by smoke and sulfuric acid and smog, that's one thing to wake up to. The other environment could be wonderful people going, hey, Billy, what's your new goal today for your money and your next success and your family? Which one is going to open up more sensors in your body and get you to go for it so that you can pull in more energy, right?
Yes, sir.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Is that it? Because that's enough. I just want to know, is there anything else you want to conclude on that?
I'm very grateful for your help.
Yeah, but it looks like you finally have sort of meandered into the fact of, well, sometimes, because I know some of your story, and sometimes I'm not going to do the energy and let's see how it goes. And sometimes I'm going to do the energy practices and let's see how it goes. Which one is more on the painful side? Which one's more on the fun, exciting side?
The expanding pathway is definitely much more fun. The contracting pathway, basically I had my rear end backed up to the black hole. So I got with the program quickly. And that was a good thing.
And it's about as hard as breathing, right? You just
Right.
do the exercise. None of the exercises that were invented 5,000 years ago are that hard. I mean, yes, you can get into some very unique positions when you finally carry it through to some other kind of, martial arts or yoga, but that's only more expansion. It doesn't mean that the energy isn't there as you're growing along. It's just more and more expansion. So you've got a lot to look forward to because now you know the game.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we'll be looking forward to stories from you now coming in the future, right?
Absolutely.
Did you write down more goals for the rest of your life and the things today?
I just wrote them before I came up here.
Thank you. Okay, so today being a little bit of a unique day, we're going to do some physical exercises first that have to do with the energy. So everybody gets to stand up and we will start doing the physical exercise for 15 minutes. Now the physical exercises are older exercises, old Lao Tzu exercises that you have, so it gets some room between you and other people that you may have seen some of them with me doing them a long time ago or doing them now. I just need for you to have fun and I'll keep doing them, okay? And then after we do this, you're going to quickly go take your seat and then we'll do a breathing guided visualization and then we'll have a break. So can everybody fine with that? All right. So we'll start with the first physical exercise. So the first physical exercise is you stand, breathe. And as you breathe, as I was telling somebody this morning, so many people breathe and sometimes their shoulders go up or down. Sometimes they like pull their neck in. I mean, it's all okay. But the most important thing when you breathe is that this part that's the top of your chest really loves if you'll let it go higher when you breathe. That's one exercise. So let that happen. Do it 5 times. And then see if you can get it higher. Like watch. Your shoulders should be relaxed, but you're noticing that you can go higher with this bone that's in front. Now in China, after you learned this exercise, which you aren't going to do, they had a spear. And the spear went right here, and another person would hold the spear on their neck. And together you went, and the stronger you got, the more the spear bent. The weaker you got, the more the spear went in. So do I need to bring a spear for you all for this, or can you do it?
Thank you.
All right, so you can imagine the spear, right? So you can imagine that. That's why I put my finger here. So what so many people want you to do, and so many different other disciplines, is sort of focus on using, a microcosmic orbit or this orbit. Really, you're so set up to have it work inside already that if you just drop all that for the next period of time while we do this, you're going to have fun and it'll work. Is that okay? Okay, so you don't even have to figure it out, right? So the next one is, you see me do this one in the airports, is putting your arms out to the side like this. And what's good about this exercise, you bend your knees a little bit so you get a shoulder length apart. What's good about this exercise is that it starts with a stretch. So you'll see I'm stretching here, stretching. And what you're trying to do is stretch as far as you can out this way. And you're twisting backwards comfortably for most of you. Those of you who can do it so easily, you can put a little more tension on it. If it's too difficult, you don't stretch as hard, but keep your arms there. Now, some people would say, well, what am I doing here? Is this an exercise? Well, the truth is another thing from China. We said just to do this first part of the exercise. When I got over there, I would go, I came all the way to China to do this. This is it. And then 10 minutes later, this is it. And 20 minutes later, your arms feel like 1,000,000 pounds. And you go, this is it. Until finally you just let go. So now you're going to let go and let your arms just hang here without you doing anything. It's a different feeling. So the arms get lighter, yes? Now let go and let the arms hold themselves up. Now, yes, I'm helping you because you're here in this exercise and the energy's flowing throughout the entire course and while we're doing this. But as you notice, your shoulder blades can come easier together now because your arms aren't so heavy. Can you tell your arms are getting a little bit lighter? I'm not, really, just feel and see if it's true. You don't have to stiffen them so much. Just let them hang out there and let your shoulder blades come back and you'll see you can get your arms back even farther, okay? And we haven't done anything except get with the energy. That's what you're doing. You're not jamming some orbit. It's how your body's built. Now, for those of you who said, God, how long am I going to keep my arms like this? Now we're going to do some twisting like this. And when you twist, keep that position in the back and then sort of let it rock back. And as it goes back, keep the arms at the same level of the shoulder. And if it's too hard to do that, then you just give it partway back. But as you do it, guess what? Now that you've done it this way, do it without using your brain. Let the arms do it. Do you know the arms have brains? They found out the intestine has a brain. My field, gastroenterology. Maybe there's brains all over the place. Maybe there's a constant, cycling back of information. So remember when you're doing the light arms before? So now the arms are light again, only now you're twisting them. Now you're actually letting the arms twist themselves. Let them twist themselves. And you'll notice they're twisting themselves because they're not so heavy. It gets to be lighter. And it's not woo-woo, it's how you're built. You're built to succeed. It's only those people that once you go down the contraction pathway, that want you to not learn that. So is anyone noticing that it's not that difficult? Just go like this, don't put your arms down. Yeah, is anyone surprised that we've been doing it this long? How mean is this guy at front? It's terrible, he's making us do this. So now, slowly bring your arms back here, just about here, okay? Now, all of you all know that as you put between one hand and the other, one body and another, that there's all this energy that goes around. But the benefit is of you being the one that keeps nurturing your energy field. The fact that you have energy, that's been around since day one in physics. But what about the fact that you have control over how much energy? So let go a little more here. Everybody's going this, well, what's happening? Nothing's happening. You're going to let go. Relax. And just let it flow. You're not doing anything. Your hands are doing the work. If you don't understand, that's the best. If you say, I came all the way to China for this, I could be doing surgery, you have my hands like this, how could this be valuable? You take that and stow it in some, Chinese rice. And just let your hands float here again. Now notice last time, your arms were floating out to the side. Now your arms are floating in front of you. Let them get lighter. Let them get lighter. Now, do you remember that bone that was in front of your chest? Let that go up when you breathe while you're doing this. Watch. Notice how it gets easier. So some people like to do hyperventilation, which then is good for, having fun for a short period of time, but then you got the rest of your day. So how are you going to hyperventilate all day? No. So what could you do? You could keep letting the energy in so your field got stronger and stronger. If your hands are going to hold themselves up, how many other things in your universe might hold itself up without you attending to it so compulsively with that thing you call the brain between your ears? It's not your only brain. So your arms are not as tired as you thought, right? Maybe a little tired, but not as tired, right? So now if you let the hands just slowly come down like this, slowly, 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 and then just sort of let them come here into this almost prayer position, but don't let them touch, just close. Does anybody notice, you can just shake your head out there or in here, that your arms and hands are not as tired as you thought they could be? Because not many people are used to doing that exercise. People think, are you kidding me? Have my arms stretched out like that? Don't you know what the physics are on that? So you may here understand physics. The farther you are away from the center of the Leaning Tower of Pizza, the more the Leaning Tower of Pizza is going to lean over, which because of the physics of it. So actually put your arms out like that is a stress if you use basic mechanics. But if you flip the quantum, like you guys did, like you're doing right now, you don't have to hold your hands here, do you? Or not as much attention. Now, close your eyes and do it. Keep your eyes closed and just enjoy. Remember that chest bone. As you breathe up and down, you'll notice your abdomen can actually go up with your chest bone. Okay, now let your arms come down to your side and just, what are you going to do with them? Are you just going to let them fall here? Or are you going to increase your field? So go like this. Is everybody's arms loose out there? Are your arms loose? Yes, they're looser than you thought. It's not so hard to whip them around, is it? So as you notice, your arms, as you do it, now, do you want to really force those arms around? Or do you want to see how far they can go by themselves? Question, let them go by themselves. So now you're just going to float them around. Float them around. Let them float as far as they'll go. Yeah, really, you can't lose on this because it's all been set up before you got here. So just let it go like this, and you'll see that your arms can go wherever you want them to go. But it's nice when they go farther each time because then you get to, and keeping that chest bone up, you get to watch and see how they just sort of flip around. And you'll see, if you ever do this in the parks in China, somebody will come over to you and they'll go, that looks like fun. And they'll say, it's not difficult, is it? You should try it. And you can move your head if you want, this way. Some people move it opposite, some people move the same way. But is it getting easier? Yes. So now watch your arms do it now just without anything in your eyes closed. So you're actually letting your arms just float around. There's no way you can do it right because you can't see. So you're just going to let them go around this way. And you're going to be on your way to being the wonderful, drunken energy master who's drunk and walking down the street going, I don't even need to see because I can just let my arms float like this. And it's so much fun to have arms. And look what they do. And they go around. It's not difficult. Take a deep breath. If you feel like smiling, that's fun. So now we're going to slowly open our eyes. And does anybody notice that the arms was easier to go around when your eyes were closed? Or was it harder? Did you think more and say, oh, how do I put my arm? Should I go higher on my scapula? Or something? Is it got it? Yeah, as long as you don't pull it, if you let the arms do it, it'll treat you. It'll actually treat your body. You don't have to like grind it in there, you know. Give me 10 more pounds on my arm weights, right? Okay, then let them come down. And now I go like this. Okay, so now that you've got this position, you can just make a big smile. And what's really cool is if you can go, recognition is like gratitude, isn't it? I mean, you can't have gratitude if you don't recognize it first. So I always start with recognition. So just recognize that, hey, that was groovy, or I really like that, or that was fun. You have to send that message to yourself so it goes down on the side of your brain as, I think I'll do that again. So easy. And you should notice when your arms are like this, which really seems not very serious, but if your arms are really relaxed, they won't go numb, and your shoulder blades will be more close together. See? Your shoulder blades in the back will be, but naturally, you're not forcing them together. If you ever seen weightlifting magazines, they always say, get those shoulder blades together, pull down on that thing. But now your shoulder blades are going together without any effort, right? A little more. And the more you get them together, the easier it is to send that bone up. Okay? Now, these are exercises I have brought back, probably 500 of them. But do you see how much fun they all lead to the next one? So we have a whole series of these for you. Do you think this was worthwhile for you? Because now you're going to be energized and we're going to do a breathing exercise. So a breathing exercise is a guided visualization which gives you all the value of meditation and beyond, and the value of enlightenment and beyond without you having to work for it. Notice the whole concept. There's not a lot of work if you really want to get to the expanding size. All the work comes from grinding yourself down in the contraction phase. So are your arms relaxed in this position? If your arms are still okay, then just go, hey, I really recognize that I enjoyed this, and I'll do it again. And just put your hands here. And then we're going to do we're going to do a breathing exercise, but that was the beginning of the physical. So when doing the breathing exercise, you can do it standing or you can do it sitting. Today we're going to do it sitting. And so everybody sit down wherever you are. And while you're sitting, what you're going to do is for a short period of time, you're going to be surprised how short. You're going to just close your eyes for a second. And as you close your eyes, you can let your hands fall to your sides, but you're sort of getting the picture. Hey, if I close my eyes and I just sort of went with the same program that he was doing before, maybe that might work even when I'm sitting. What did I say? If I went with the same program of just letting the arms do it and let my breathing do it and let the body do it, I don't have to stress right now. So just sit here and breathe, and the only thing you need to focus on is that chest bone getting higher, reaching up, pulling your stomach in. And what's so much fun to realize in a breathing exercise is that you can let go even further. You can let your neck just, take a break. Just like your arms took a break, let your neck just sort of float backwards. And really, the more you let the neck do the floating, you get to watch it happen, which is the participation part of the miracle of being here, in that you get to enjoy and watch everything happen and participate in it while you're at Disneyland. And this body is part of your Disneyland access. This is your big ticket to get in. So as you breathe and let your neck go back, you can let your shoulders go down, and that upper bone on your chest, you can let it go up again. It's always nice to remember that, and pull your stomach in. And then as you let the chair or the bed, if you're lying down, or the floor, just hold you, you can just let yourself pass out. Just go out for a while and just let yourself float. I mean, you let the arms float, you might as well let the rest of it float. It's nothing to do. It's all set up for you, and there isn't a right way. Your body will guide you. Just keep your eyes closed and just enjoy letting the chair hold you. And as the chair holds you, what's really fun to notice is that ever so slightly, ever so mildly, as you let go again and your chest bone goes up, that you can sort of experience that there's a space in front of your face. Actually, it goes way out there, but it's definitely in front of your face and it's in front of your forehead. And as you relax, you can just sort of have fun with that. Notice the whole thing's set up for fun, because fun is the expansion pathway. So anyone that wants to grimace is not aiding the process. They're stiffening. So let it go and watch yourself have your body have fun. So as you smile and look at that sort of surface that's in front of you, you'll notice that, okay, it doesn't look like anything for a second, and then it does. Okay, there's a little bit of pebbly thing up in the left-hand corner, and then there's a dark spot somewhere else. But the more that I look at that one place where there was some light coming through, it's pretty interesting. You can see sometimes in the left upper corner of the left upper quadrant of the space in front of you, sort of like a diamond that's on its side. You know, wedding ring diamond, those big diamonds, but there's a huge diamond. It's on its side, and it's gleaming, and it's sort of pulsating up there in the left corner. And if you watch that diamond, it sort of knows that you're here. Remember about quantum, things respond to you and with you. So as that diamond sort of was facing sideways, as you focus on it, it sort of will roll in that dark, pebbly space so that it's sort of rolling facing you, which is sort of interesting, you know, it's responding. And as you watch the diamond, it can get clearer and then it can disappear for a second, but that's sort of like everything. You know, it rains where you are and then it stops raining and then the sun comes out, then it rains again, then it's daytime, it's night. So you have to be used to go through the changes, but the changes don't have to be anything but fun too. So as that diamond rolls around and you're looking at it, it can come, you can actually watch it come closer. Yeah, remember that breath. Just keep breathing as it comes closer into the center of your screen. And what's so cool about having it in the center of your screen is like left this sort of light pathway from that left upper corner down into the center of your screen. And that diamond will stay there and it actually will pulsate a little bit. And if you just let yourself watch it and have fun, just like watching on your pathway around Disneyland, enjoying this new experience that you don't have to do anything to have it happen, you can just allow yourself to examine, which is what Emerson was talking about. Just keep examining things. Wow, look what's here. So as you watch it, you'll see the diamond sometimes will change, it'll disappear, maybe it'll come a curlicue light, maybe you'll see a yin-yang symbol for a second, maybe you'll see a big flash of light coming out of a diamond, like there's light coming from behind it. And the diamond can start to rotate, you know, like rotate all the way to the right. And the diamond can sort of rotate around to the left. And it can sort of recede. And it can come forward. And what's fun, if you just let it do its thing, it'll just examine, like Emerson was saying, just examine, it'll rotate backwards and sideways and sort of like always in some different position, which, as you know, is really one of the hallmarks of life, which is always moving. So to be able to appreciate movement and experience the movement at the same time is what we're doing here all over the planet. And you get to see how far it'll go, which is endless in terms of ways to express it. So as you watch that diamond roll around, it looks like a beacon. It can shine light way into the darkness, way out over there. If you're seeing any darkness as you go back further into the distance in front of your forehead, above your eyes. But you see that light can shine all over all kinds of things so that you go, wow, this is interesting. This is something like, and Plato described this at one time. He talked about being in a cave. He's trying to get people to start this experience. But the thing is that you've already got it, that it appears on its own. And you don't need to make any conclusions from this because there aren't conclusions except take the ride and get the value, get the life, enjoy breathing, keep that chest up. And sometimes you can get all the diamonds to break apart and they'll form a circle, and it'll be like a circle of diamonds, and they're like rotating, like a rotating wheel. And sometimes the diamonds can form, all these different shapes inside the circle. And it then can keep rolling open and open and open. So the diamond like expands through different spaces in front of you so that you're actually being drawn into the space of the diamond. And if that's easy, just enjoy it and let the light just sort of, as if you were getting a light bath from the sun, let it just bathe you and take in all the value that's there. I mean, Emerson said, examine it, so try it out. Let it just float all over your body. You don't have to do anything for it. Take a deep breath. And then one of the most fun things to do is to say, I've got so much ease in doing this process. I think I'll come back here at another time, and I'll come back with you and set up a number of different exercises. We go farther and farther into different new experiences, but every one, since it's new, has the value in it. And it's new each time, which is what makes expansion and growth so fascinating. So you can put a smile here, a little smiley face, Be happy at that spot, and we'll come back here. But for now, I want you to keep your eyes closed and rub your hands together. As you rub your hands together, get a little friction, and then put it over your eyes, your hands over your eyes. And you can put them 1 inch away, 6 inches away. You can put it on your eyes and just take that in. Again, the least amount of anything, just let it do its thing. Let it just float there and do its thing. Smile. Let the bone come up as you breathe. Let your neck relax as that front goes up. And take that in through your eyes. It's yours. So much more is yours that you're going to discover on this planet. Then rub your hands together and put it over your chest bone. You can put one hand on top of the other. You can put them together. But what's fun is you can smile here and just let your hands float again. If you yawn throughout the whole process, it's good. Because that's the rest of you just yawning away, relaxing, and allowing all this to go through. And then with a smile and your chest up, rub your hands again and put them over your belly button. One hand on top of the other, one hand next to each other. And what's really fun to notice is that you can just take all that in. Just let it float. And if you want to make a memory of one of the goals you made earlier today, just take that goal and just go, I would like this to happen. Take something that would be unique happening. That's win-win. Okay. All right. Then just smile, come back in the room. And that was an energetic exercise, physical plus your breathing exercise that went with it to energize you for everything that you're going to be doing for the rest of today. Are you ready? So you're going to take a break now and come back, and then we're going to really rock it. Okay? Thank you.